by now all of our treads have been pre-cut and assembled to the staircase where they would be fitted. If you do have a straight staircase, it's probably worth you numbering each tread. Even though each tread only probably differs a couple of millimeters, it's still probably worth doing to avoid any unnecessary confusion. Now we're going to remove all of our treads before we start to glue them down, but it's very important when you do remove the treads to remove all fragments of dirt and of course all the dust and any imperfections that could interfere with the gluing process. So first off, we're going to start off with our risers, and then we're going to work our way down the staircase. And we're going to be using two forms of adhesive. First up, we're going to be using this instant nails adhesive. Now this is just a traditional adhesive where you can use it on architraves, skirtings and nosings. Now the other adhesive that we're using is our lumberjack that we've seen in previous videos, and this is the one where it begins to bond our materials together in a 5-minute period as the adhesive expands. Now we will be explaining later on in the video why we do use two forms of adhesive, and we will be showing you how to use these doweling tools to secure down our treads. Now with this lumberjack adhesive, it is designed to go inside of the imperfections and joints because it is expanding adhesive, and it's designed to get in there and pack out those joints and any imperfections. And we like to put the adhesive in those key structural parts. This adhesive will also decrease the squeaking and will actually strengthen the staircase if the adhesive is applied in those key areas. As you can see, the adhesive going into those cracks there so it can expand and make that structure a little bit stronger. And we're going to pick up our instant nails adhesive now, and the reason we lay out the adhesive like this is to avoid what we call pancaking. And what we mean by that is if the glue hasn't got anywhere to breathe when we put down our riser, it could affect the drying process, so it's important to layer out your adhesive just like so. Now we want to avoid pushing our riser back too much because we still want like a 2mm gap, just enough space for our tread to have a bit of wiggle room so we get that nice fit. You can see the little gap that we've left there. It just gives us that 1 or 2mm, just so we have that little bit more wiggle room when we are assembling our tread against that riser. We're going to start off with our landing tread. We've got our instant nails just laid out there. Now our landing tread is rebaited to meet the same level as our flooring at the top of our stairs, whether that be carpet or our laminate flooring. You can see there it's made a lot narrower. Now whilst the glue is still drying, here's a little tip for you. If you have actually pushed your riser too far back, there is a way you can actually rectify this and fix it. So what you can do is, we've got our tread here, and now if you look, we have a 2cm gap where our tread would be. You can actually get a screw, and what you can do is screw it in, and then you can pull it back and pull that riser just ever so slightly back out. Obviously because of the 2cm gap, you won't see that mark where the screw would be. Now the reason we use two forms of adhesive is very simple. It's because if you are a joiner or you are just a person doing a simple DIY project, as you're fitting the staircase, you will be leaning on the staircase or you will be walking on the treads. So you just want that extra layer of support on the staircase, because when you are walking on them or leaning on them, you don't want your treads sliding out of place. Now first of all, we have obviously the lumberjack adhesive, which we said earlier on in the video that this is the adhesive that starts to expand after 5 minutes, and after the 5 minutes it will start to hold your treads in place. But it usually takes 24 hours for your adhesives to fully dry and keep your materials secure. But we've also got, which is probably our most secure way to secure your treads in place. Now this equipment is also available on our website, and it's this drill bit, and obviously we've got our pins at the bottom there. But this is our drill bit that screws on the top of our drill by using Allen keys. We also have our dowel kits that are available on our website too, and they're 25mm long. So what you'd do there is you'd set the drill bit so it cuts about halfway down the dowel. So when you're setting your ring attachment to your drill bit, you want to be setting it to about 13 to 14mm from the point of your drill bit. So that's a little bit more than half of the dowel. Now the next stage is to drill 2 bits on either side of the tread, but it is recommended, even though we don't show it in this video, it's recommended to add a 3rd hole in the center of your tread, and this will give it the extra strength and extra support that you may need. So when you are stepping in the center of the tread has that extra support. Now obviously the next stage is to take our pins and insert them into each hole. And the next stage is we're going to put our tread on top of the pins and just give it a nice gentle tap just to knock it down into place. And then when we take a look at the tread, you will see that will insert the pin marks on the bottom of the tread, just like so. And now what we've got is the holes ready, so we can get our drill and drill down the perfect measurement, so we can get those correct fixtures for our dowels to be inserted. Now as we've said before, the drill bit is set to go about 13 to 14mm deep into the tread. The treads are 20mm thick, so you'd have about 6mm left before you actually drill through the tread. So now we're going to repeat the process with our next set of risers. So we're going to add our adhesive, just how we did before, making sure that adhesive is nice and spread out before we attach our riser. And now we're going to put adhesive inside of our drilled holes before we put in the dowels. And we're going to hammer them down to make sure they're nice and secure. And then it's back with our expanding adhesive into all the joints and all the key areas, so the adhesive expands into all those gaps and it will bond all of the oak nicely together to give maximum support. And then we're going to go back with our instant nails, and remember, we're spreading the adhesive and we're not clumping it all together. We don't want that air getting trapped behind the tread and making it pancake and not sticking down correctly. And that's our tread all stuck down. Now we have used the doweling system and we've used 2 forms of adhesive. This is to give the tread maximum strength, and this is why we've used the doweling system technique and the adhesive technique. Now you can't use just adhesive, but what we like to do in this video is show you all forms and ways that you can attach your treads as safely as possible and securely as possible. Now if you are a joiner or a carpenter, it does come down to your preference what adhesives you do wish to use, and if you are a DIYer, it does come down to your preference. These are just methods that we're showing in these videos today. Now there's the completed process as we carried on and we finished the treads, but this is very important. You see where the glue has started to come out of the treads there, which is absolutely normal. It's best to wait until the glue has fully dried before you try and remove it. It's important not to try and wipe or smear. Wait until the glue has dried and then you can remove it with a Stanley blade. So yeah, that's how easy it is and how your staircase can look once using our cladding solutions. It's easy, and most importantly, it looks beautiful when it's done. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and you can catch us in the next video where we'll be discussing more about our Newel post cladding.